because this just is her, I can tell. I thank you, Veeneta, for this, and Pastor Bell, you tricked me today. I thought I was doing him a favor by coming to participate in an interview he was having because he's won a 2020 award with Channel 7. And he does so much work in the community that, you know, that this is what Detroiters do. And when I see, and I'm like you, I'm sure your heart hurts when you see how they're dismantling us and how they're taking advantage of us and how we know, I know what I know and I know what I saw. And so when I see this bothers me. It just bothers me until, and I see how they're just manipulating. My cousin Chokwe Lumumba died, and you know, he was around back in the day when Jim Crow was getting edited out, and you know, a lot of folks don't remember the Algiers Motel, and they don't remember the things that happened that we endured, and they don't remember the history that I'm watching being dismantled, you know, and when I see them, and I'm all for progress. I don't want anybody to think I'm not for progress, because I am. I mean, I think if things had been different, I think you'd see so many new faces and such a vibrant city where your mayor's not afraid to come out amongst you. I think it would be just completely different. I have a problem when they take down Coleman Young's picture. You know, that bothers me. I have a problem when they rename the Millender Center. That bothers me. You know, I understand that Shinola is a clock, but I don't like Shinola because it has a history. That's right. And when I see so much of what's going on, because I grew up this way, I have to tell you, people say, well, how is it that you're the way you are? Many of you know of me, but I'm going to just give you just 2 minutes to let you know what motivates me. You know, I know I'm weird. I'm the first to say it because I grew up when my father was had 3rd grade, and he owned a gambling joint up on Mack Avenue. Daddy gave me street sense. My mother worked for the city for 35 years. So I know I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that paycheck. And so when I see them take away the pensions, I think about what they would have done to my mother. And when I see them take away health care, I think about what would Mom have done. And after she had a bargain, this bothers me. And you know, I'm one of those things they call black Catholic here. And I got to tell you this because I was one of those guys. I was an altar boy. Now, if you don't know what that is, I was an altar boy for 15 years. I mean, I was my 3rd year in college as an altar boy. So the values that were placed in me by my mother and by my father, and my mother in particular, and by spending the 15 years, it makes me stand up for what I think is right. That's right. Even if it costs you. And when I see hypocrisy, I don't like hypocrisy. You know, and it bothers me. And as I see them dismantle my city, and now as I see them where now they make me feel uncomfortable in my own city, when I see that now my Belle Isle, now I gotta, you know, you can't even go across on your own Belle Isle without the state police trailing you. That's wrong. And they think that they call that progress. And I'm not against it. I'm not against progress. But there's nothing that's going on now that we couldn't have done if we'd had a strong Detroit mayor. That's right. Nothing going on. And you know, I had a difference with one of my neighbors where I live at. And believe it or not, he got the mayor to come down to speak up and talk against. And I saw what I have to tell you folks is white privilege. I see it. And it bothers me because it means you're not for all the people. You're not for all the people. You're taking away from us. You're dismantling us. You're transferring wealth under the guise of progress. No one's getting rich except these consultants that they're bringing in. We're supposed to be broke, but they're finding hundreds of millions of dollars for these consultants. And I was the one who stood up and said this whole bankruptcy was fake. I told them it was fake. I told you we didn't qualify. But the media wanted this man. They wanted him to irrationality. They wanted him no matter what. And it wasn't because he was competent, because he is not any panacea, any messiah. It's because of the color of his skin. That's why they wanted him. Anybody else who was of color, they devalued, they took it down, they cut it up, they made it seem like it's less, they made it seem like it was incompetent, made it seem like you go in there, you're going to do wrong. That's what they made it seem like, so they could elevate somebody else. And when I see our young people, above all, our young people buying in, not realizing you're being manipulated because they don't know the history. They think it's always been where Anita Kennedy could have had this place here. No, she couldn't have had this place here back when I was a kid.
That's right.
Where I stay at, I couldn't live down there because it's in my deed. You can't sell it to Negroes, coloreds, and Jews. You know, it's different. And when I see them manipulate our young people, it bothers me. And they'll stand up and they'll speak against it even as they're being manipulated. And it hurts me because I want to educate them to the past. You've got to understand your history. If you don't, they're going to repeat it on you. They're taking you back to those days. If you don't understand that, you need to try to understand it. So when I see you all come here, this really is quite moving to me. Because I see you all as your warriors. I see you as warriors. You stand up and you fight. I'm going to have to call my wife because my wife and my son don't know about it either. I'll call them. But this is an incredible thing here, and how you kept it from me is a testimonial to yourselves. And nobody put it on Facebook, nobody tweeted it, nobody Instagrammed it, nobody did any of that stuff. And you've been able to pull it off, so. You did a very good job. And Pastor Bill even got his 3 children out here, and they're sitting, where'd they go? They were here somewhere. Yeah, they're sitting there. They're sitting there as young people, and they're entertaining themselves, and you can see they're well-mannered, and they are Detroit kids. Those are what we're talking about as what our community is. And I see Nick, and I watched Nick grow up. He was a little boy. Nick's a big grown man now. And I just, it's just gratifying to me. And I'm just so sorry that I couldn't have achieved for what it is that I wanted to achieve. But I want you to know something. I want you to know something. I want you to know something. I have a plan, though. I have a plan. You know, my daddy used to say something. He used to say that, you know, they're never so slick that one more greasing won't do it.
That's right.
In their minds, they think that we are intellectually deficient, that we are incapable of rational thought and logically thinking things through. In their minds, when they put us on, one of us on the TV, they go out and they find the worst they can find. They make it look like that's what we really are.
That's right.
You know, when they talk about crime and all that, they make it seem like that we're uniquely situated with any kind of criminal act. When it goes on, no matter where it goes and takes place, they make it sound like it's Detroit.
Right.
Pontiac's not Detroit. Troy is not Detroit. Brookville's not Detroit. Birmingham's not Detroit. East Point's not Detroit. Woods is not Detroit. Roseville is not Detroit. But when they put it on the news, they make it seem like it's Detroit. Because it's all part of a very complex, sophisticated plan to take over and to transfer wealth. And we're seeing it as they dismantle our city. So I have a plan that we're going to have, but the plan begins with us taking back our electoral system. We've got to take back the system. And I'm going to be unveiling this plan over the next, just as soon as April 15th gets here, because I'm inundated right now. And some of you all come up in here, come up into the office without me even knowing this is going on. But right after that, we're going to unveil that. And it's going to be a plan that if we execute this plan, like we executed the plan on casino gambling, for those of you who do not know the history. Back in the early 1980s.
That's right.
When they wanted to bring casinos here, there was a few of us who stood up and talked against it, Citizens for Detroit's Future. We created the ballot initiative. We then had it all printed up. We then went before the council. We then went, and when the council wouldn't put it on the ballot, we went out there and we circulated the petitions and got the people to vote for it.
That's right.
The people then said, put it on the ballot.
Voted it down.
And then we voted it. And we had to word it in such a way and make sure people understood it.
Right.
But we banned casino gambling for 15 years,
right.
20 years. They had to have initiative after initiative after initiative until finally, the casinos put so much money in they got it to pass. It took one yes, but they wouldn't take 4 no's. But now they're here. So we're going to work with that. But don't think for one moment that we don't know how to use the initiative, because we know how to use the initiative. And come April, you're going to see how it's done. All right, let's get on. And then we're going to dance and do something. My brothers and my sisters are here, and I don't know how many times we'll be together like this again. We'll get them to come up, and let's take a picture with my brothers. Yeah, I'm the little brother, so I'm the younger, so this is probably as much respect as I'll ever get from them.